He was a famous actor before his plastic surgery Guess Who, Then and Now, 2026. What if the pursuit of beauty became a battle for your soul? Jocelyn Wildenstein, once a radiant socialite, transformed her face so drastically that the world could no longer look away. Her feline features turned her into a global sensation and a living question mark about where beauty ends and obsession begins. Was it love, power, or heartbreak that drove her transformation? This is not just another Hollywood story. It's a mirror reflecting our own fascination with perfection. Stay with us as we uncover the shocking truth behind her metamorphosis. April Michelle Brown. There was a time when April Michelle Brown's radiant smile and magnetic confidence lit up television screens and local stages across Los Angeles. Before the world knew her story, she was admired for her energy, beauty, and a growing presence in the entertainment world. Producers praised her natural charisma. Many even called her a star in the making. Yet, in an industry obsessed with perfection, she began to believe that the only way to keep rising was to look younger, slimmer, and flawless. That belief would lead her into one of the most devastating beauty tragedies of modern Hollywood. In the early 2000s, April sought what seemed like a harmless cosmetic enhancement. She was told that a small, affordable procedure could accentuate her curves and boost her screen appeal. What she didn't know was that the injections she received contained industrial-grade silicone, a toxic substance used for sealing tiles, not the human body. Within weeks, her skin darkened, her legs ached, and her health began to collapse. The infection spread rapidly, leaving her doctors with an impossible choice: amputate or let her die. To save her life, they removed both arms and both legs. Most would have disappeared into silence after such a catastrophe. But April was not most people. She endured over 27 surgeries, months of hospitalization, and years of rehabilitation. Through the tears, she found a new purpose. She began sharing her story publicly, becoming a motivational speaker who reminded others that self-worth can't be bought or injected. Her resilience turned her from a victim into a survivor, from an actress chasing perfection to a voice guiding others towards self-acceptance. When April appeared in interviews and documentaries, audiences were moved not by pity but admiration. With prosthetic limbs and an unbreakable spirit, she redefined beauty itself. "I am still whole," she once said, "just in a different way." That statement became her legacy, a reminder that real transformation begins inside, not under a surgeon's knife. April's courage also ignited a national conversation about unlicensed cosmetic work and the underground market preying on insecurities. Health officials began citing her case in campaigns about the dangers of illegal procedures. Even celebrities came forward admitting how easily vanity can turn to vulnerability when fame demands flawlessness. Today, April Michelle Brown is no longer remembered for the fame she almost had, but for the wisdom she gave the world. Her journey is proof that beauty can be rebuilt from ashes, and that the most powerful reconstruction of all is the one of the human soul. Julia Tarasevich. Julia Tarasevich once embodied the dream of Eastern European beauty, tall, confident, and luminous on camera. Born in Moscow, she was crowned a regional beauty queen before crossing into modeling and film, where her porcelain features and expressive blue eyes made her one of Russia's rising television stars. For years, her face was her passport to fame. But in a world where flawless youth sells more than talent, Julia began to feel the quiet pressure that destroys even the strongest self-image. By her early 40s, producers suggested a touch-up to preserve her market appeal. In 2023, at the age of 43, Julia agreed to undergo a set of minor cosmetic procedures, eyelid surgery, eye correction, and liposuction around her jawline. The clinic assured her of a quick recovery and minimal risk. Instead, her life changed overnight. Severe swelling distorted her face beyond recognition. Her eyelids could no longer close completely, leaving her eyes painfully exposed. The doctors claimed she had a rare skin disorder, but Julia knew the truth: something had gone terribly wrong in the operating room. She filed a lawsuit against the medical team, accusing them of negligence and falsifying her medical report. Her court battle exposed a shocking pattern of malpractice hidden within luxury cosmetic clinics catering to celebrities. The documents revealed that untested substances had been used during her surgery to cut costs. Julia's case soon became front-page news in Russia and Europe, sparking debate about the unregulated cosmetic industry and the dangers of beauty tourism. Despite multiple corrective surgeries and years of treatment, her facial muscles never fully recovered. She could no longer appear on screen, and her acting career quietly ended. Yet Julia refused to disappear. Instead, she turned to advocacy, speaking to young models and actresses about the psychological toll of beauty obsession. "They told me I'd look younger," she said in a 2025 interview. "But what I lost was my ability to smile." Her courage to reveal the truth inspired a movement calling for stricter surgical standards and better mental health support for women in the entertainment industry. In doing so, Julia transformed her tragedy into purpose. Once admired for her beauty, she is now honored for her strength. A reminder that fame fades, but integrity endures. Lin May. Lin May, born Lilia Guadalupe Mendiola Mayares in Acapulco, Mexico, was once one of Latin America's most dazzling performers. In the 1970s, she reigned as a celebrated dancer, actress, and cabaret sensation. Her fiery charisma and sculpted beauty made her a cultural icon, appearing in over 100 films and sharing stages with Mexico's biggest stars. Audiences adored her elegance and sensuality, while critics praised her as the queen of ficheras cinema. But behind the applause, Lin battled an unspoken fear, the relentless march of time in an industry that worshipped youth more than legacy. By the late 1980s, as newer faces filled screens, Lin turned to cosmetic enhancements to preserve her signature look. When doctors warned her of surgical limits, she sought cheaper, faster alternatives. A non-certified practitioner offered what sounded like a miracle, an injectable treatment to rejuvenate her skin. Believing it was a safe filler, she allowed baby oil to be injected into her cheeks and forehead. Within months, her skin hardened, her face swelled unevenly, and her radiant features became permanently distorted. What was meant to restore youth instead turned into a lifelong scar. The media was ruthless. Tabloids branded her the woman who ruined her face, ignoring her pain and bravery. Yet Lin refused to hide. She appeared on talk shows, proudly facing cameras, saying, "I am still Lin May. I will never be ashamed of my past." Her honesty shattered the silence around cosmetic abuse in Latin entertainment. She became a living symbol of the risks of unregulated procedures, especially in an era when quick beauty promised eternal fame. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, she underwent numerous reconstructive operations to soften the damage, but the results were partial. Still, she reinvented herself as a TV personality and cultural figure, embracing her transformed image rather than denying it. Younger generations admired her strength and authenticity, seeing her not as a victim, but as a woman who survived both fame and its cruel aftermath. Lin May's story is no longer one of tragedy, but transformation. She exposed the hidden cost of vanity in a society obsessed with eternal youth. Decades after her stardom, she continues to perform, laugh, and inspire others with her fearlessness. Her face, once a symbol of perfection, now tells a deeper truth. Beauty fades, but self-acceptance never does. Barbara Eden. Barbara Eden remains one of Hollywood's rare treasures, a living bridge between the golden age of television and the modern obsession with eternal youth. Born in 1931 in Tucson, Arizona, she rose to fame as the enchanting Jeannie in the 1965 hit series I Dream of Jeannie. Her charm, comedic timing, and ageless beauty made her a household name across generations. Even after 6 decades in entertainment, Barbara's presence radiates grace, poise, and discipline, qualities that have kept her in the public eye far beyond her peers. Unlike many in Hollywood, Barbara Eden never surrendered to the knife. Over the years, fans have speculated about Botox or facelifts, Yet she has consistently denied any major cosmetic procedures. Instead, she credits her timeless look to healthy living, a balanced diet, and a strong work ethic. In interviews, she often mentions her love for swimming and singing activities that she says keep both the spirit and the face alive. As of 2026, at age 95, Barbara continues to appear at fan conventions and award ceremonies glowing with the same sparkle that once made her the world's favorite genie. Her authenticity stands out in an era where digital filters and surgical perfection dominate the screen. Many younger stars have cited her as proof that beauty can coexist with aging naturally. While countless contemporaries faded under the pressure of Hollywood's standards, Barbara redefined longevity, showing that self-confidence and joy are stronger than any cosmetic treatment. The entertainment industry has changed dramatically since her debut, but Eden's elegance endures as a quiet rebellion against time and superficial trends. When asked how she maintained her appeal, she smiled and said, "I never tried to stay young. I tried to stay grateful." That humility became her greatest beauty secret. Her story carries an unspoken lesson for new generations of actors chasing impossible ideals. Barbara Eden proves that the pursuit of perfection often erases individuality, while acceptance preserves it. Her life reminds the world that no surgery can replicate authenticity, and no mirror can measure inner peace. As the lights of old Hollywood dim, Barbara's legacy still gleams an everlasting reminder that true beauty doesn't require reinvention, only self-respect. Carol Bryan. Carol Bryan's story began like many others in Hollywood with ambition, talent, and the desire to stay radiant in an image-obsessed world. In the early 2000s, she was known for her modeling work and promotional appearances, admired for her classic beauty and youthful confidence. But as the industry grew increasingly competitive, Carol started to feel invisible. The mirror that once reflected her strength began to whisper insecurity. Hoping for a subtle rejuvenation, she decided to undergo a routine cosmetic filler procedure that promised quick results and no downtime. In 2009, at age 47, Carol visited a licensed clinic in Florida for filler injections to smooth wrinkles on her forehead and cheeks. What she didn't know was that her doctors combined permanent silicone with other unapproved substances. Within weeks, her face began to swell dramatically. The silicone hardened under her skin, distorting her features beyond recognition. The pain was unbearable physically and emotionally. Carol became reclusive, unable to face the world. For nearly 4 years, she hid from friends and family, covering mirrors and isolating herself in darkness. By 2013, her condition had worsened so severely that she could no longer open her left eye. Surgeons performed an extensive reconstructive operation, removing sections of damaged tissue. The procedure saved her life but left her permanently blind in one eye. Despite additional surgeries, including skin grafts and implants, her appearance remained altered, a constant reminder of the irreversible harm caused by unsafe cosmetic experimentation. Yet out of the ashes of pain, Carol found her voice again. She began speaking publicly about her ordeal, appearing in documentaries and medical conferences to warn others about the dangers of fillers and unregulated procedures. Her courage drew national attention after her story was featured on the Doctor's TV show, where viewers witnessed her resilience and empathy for others walking the same path. Carol's advocacy has since helped shape safety reforms in cosmetic medicine, urging mandatory disclosure of filler contents and stronger patient protections. Her message remains powerful. Beauty cannot be built from fear, nor restored through shortcuts. Today, she continues to live with purpose, reminding the world that self-acceptance is the most profound reconstruction of all. Her journey stands as both a tragedy and a triumph, proof that while vanity may wound, courage can heal far deeper. Dennis Avner. Dennis Avner's story is unlike any other in the world of body modification, a journey not driven by vanity or fame, but by a spiritual calling that pushed the boundaries of human identity. Born in Flint, Michigan in 1958, Avner was a Navy veteran and computer technician whose life took an extraordinary turn in his 20s. Deeply influenced by his Native American heritage, he sought to embody his totem animal, the tiger, as an expression of his inner spirit. What began as a personal ritual evolved into one of the most extreme physical transformations ever recorded. Avner, known worldwide as Stalking Cat, underwent more than 14 surgical procedures over 2 decades to merge his human form with that of a feline. His surgeries included subdermal implants to alter his facial shape, ear modifications, split upper lip, cheek extensions, fanged teeth, and tattooed stripes covering nearly every inch of his body. He even had whisker implants and a mechanical tail designed to mimic feline movement. To him, these were not cosmetic changes, but a sacred act, a lifelong commitment to spiritual truth and personal authenticity. Despite the media labeling him a human tiger, Avner rejected the notion of spectacle. He collaborated with renowned body artist Steve Howarth and spoke openly about living according to his spiritual beliefs. His philosophy was simple. Transformation was not about beauty, but alignment, a physical manifestation of his inner identity. Still, the world often misunderstood him. While some admired his dedication, others mocked or feared what they could not comprehend. Avner's life was chronicled in major outlets such as Ripley's Believe It or Not and Larry King Live, where audiences were torn between fascination and disbelief. Yet beneath the bold tattoos and sculpted face was a gentle, introspective man who loved technology, art, and community. His story opened global conversations about body autonomy, identity, and how far one can go to become their truest self. Tragically, Avner's life ended in 2012 at age 54 under circumstances often misreported or sensationalized. Those who knew him describe a man devoted to authenticity until the end, someone who refused to live by society's limited definitions of beauty or normality. His legacy remains one of self-determination, reminding the world that transformation, when rooted in meaning, can be an act of profound courage. Dennis Avner wasn't chasing perfection, he was chasing truth. And in doing so, he left behind one of the most powerful testaments to individuality ever told. Donatella Versace. Donatella Versace is more than a designer. She is a living emblem of reinvention, resilience, and unapologetic self-expression. Born in 1955 in Reggio Calabria, Italy, she was the youngest of the Versace siblings and the closest confidant of her brother Gianni Versace, the visionary founder of the iconic fashion house. When Gianni was tragically murdered in 1997, Donatella inherited not only a billion-dollar empire, but also the immense pressure of carrying forward a global legacy built on glamour, sexuality, and innovation. Over the decades, Donatella has been as famous for her transformative image as for her creative genius. Early photos from the 1980s show a natural brunette with soft features and understated elegance. But by the early 2000s, her face had become one of the most instantly recognizable in fashion, strikingly sculpted, bronzed, and unapologetically altered. She openly admitted to using Botox fillers and laser treatments, explaining that in her world, transformation is part of the art. Her look, angular cheekbones, platinum hair, and golden tan became as iconic as the Medusa symbol itself. Critics were quick to question her appearance, accusing her of going too far. Yet Donatella refused to conform to public expectations. In interviews, she insisted that beauty is not about symmetry, but confidence, declaring, "I don't believe in natural beauty. I believe in individuality." Her defiance turned ridicule into power, making her one of the most influential women in the industry. Under her leadership, Versace evolved into a global powerhouse, expanding beyond couture into accessories, fragrance, and architecture. Her collaborations with Lady Gaga, Jennifer Lopez, Beyoncé, and Naomi Campbell brought new energy to the brand, merging sensuality with empowerment. The revival of the green jungle dress at the 2019 Milan Fashion Week, worn once again by Lopez, became a cultural moment, proving Donatella's enduring genius for spectacle and reinvention. At age 71, she continues to lead the creative direction of Versace while serving as an ambassador for self-determination in beauty and fashion. Despite decades of scrutiny, Donatella has transformed judgment into art, her face a canvas of courage and rebellion. She redefined what it means to age in the spotlight, not quietly, but fiercely, fearlessly, and on her own terms. Donatella Versace's evolution is more than skin deep. It's the story of a woman who turned pain, loss, and criticism into creative power. In her world, transformation isn't vanity, it's vision. Jordan James Park. Jordan James Park, famously known as the British Lip King, is one of the most talked-about figures in the world of extreme cosmetic transformation. Born and raised in Birmingham, England, Jordan's fascination with glamour began early. He admired Hollywood perfection, flawless skin, sculpted features, and the camera-ready glow of celebrity culture. That fascination became an obsession after he saw Kim Kardashian, whose aesthetic inspired his lifelong pursuit of what he called luxury beauty. By his mid-20s, he had already spent over £150,000, around $190,000 USD, on cosmetic enhancements. His transformation journey included dozens of lip injections, multiple rhinoplasties, eyelid surgeries, chin implants, and fillers across his face and jawline. In 2015, after one botched procedure left his lips swollen beyond recognition, he appeared on the reality show Botched, where doctors warned him to stop before permanent damage occurred. But Jordan didn't back down. To him, beauty was a form of art, and he was the canvas. "I'm addicted to perfection," he once said, "and I'll never apologize for wanting to look how I feel." Criticism followed him everywhere. Tabloids mocked his appearance, labeling him Britain's plastic prince. Yet Jordan turned ridicule into branding power. He became a bold advocate for body autonomy, insisting that every person has the right to sculpt their image as they please. Through interviews and social media, he reminded audiences that what some call excess, others call self-expression. By his early 30s, Jordan's look had evolved far beyond imitation. His oversized lips, chiseled cheekbones, and bronzed complexion became part of his identity, an unapologetic symbol of freedom in a society that preaches individuality but punishes it when it looks unconventional. Behind the viral headlines stood a man who simply refused to hide. Jordan James Park's story forces us to question what beauty truly means in the modern age. Is it art addiction, rebellion, or liberation? Perhaps it's all of them. In the end, his transformation tells a deeper truth, that the desire to be seen and accepted often shapes us more than any surgeon's blade. Jocelyn Wildenstein. Jocelyn Wildenstein, long known as the Catwoman of New York, is one of the most controversial figures in the history of cosmetic transformation. Born in Lausanne, Switzerland, she began her life far from Hollywood's glare. In her early years, Jocelyn was a striking beauty, elegant and poised, admired for her natural grace. After marrying billionaire art dealer Alec Wildenstein, she entered the elite circles of Manhattan's high society, surrounded by artists, models, and celebrities. Yet behind the wealth and status lay a growing insecurity, the fear of fading beauty, and a collapsing marriage that would soon change her forever. As her relationship with Alec deteriorated, Jocelyn became consumed by a desire to recapture his affection. She began a series of facial surgeries, hoping to embody a look she believed he would find irresistible. The procedures were radical cheek implants, eyelid reconstruction, lip augmentations, brow lifts, and extensive skin tightening. Over the years, her features took on an unmistakable feline appearance, said to have been inspired by her husband's love of big cats. What started as an attempt to preserve youth evolved into one of the most extreme transformations the world had ever seen. By the 1990s, her changing face became front-page news. Tabloids branded her the Lion Queen and Catwoman, often ridiculing her appearance without understanding the emotional pain behind it. Jocelyn rarely spoke publicly, but when she did, she denied being addicted to surgery. "I've never had hundreds of operations," she told Paper Magazine. "I've just had my face done to look like me." Despite the relentless scrutiny, she refused to retreat, attending fashion events and charity galas with confidence, daring the world to look past her appearance. Her divorce from Alec in 1999 was one of the most expensive in history. She received over $2.5 billion in settlement and $100 million annually for 13 years. Yet money couldn't shield her from public judgment. Every appearance reignited debate over the limits of plastic surgery and the psychology of self-image. Doctors speculated about the number of procedures, but Jocelyn insisted her looks were mostly natural, a mix of genetics and high-end skincare. In recent years, she has resurfaced on social media with a calmer, softer presence. Living in Miami, Jocelyn shares glimpses of her art collection pets and partner fashion designer Lloyd Klein. Her life, though quieter still, sparks curiosity and fascination. Jocelyn Wildenstein's story is not just about beauty gone too far, it's about loneliness, reinvention, and defiance. In a world quick to mock what it doesn't understand, she stands as a symbol of one woman's right to define herself, even when the mirror reflects something the world can't accept. Jocelyn Wildenstein's life challenges every idea we have about beauty, identity, and control. Was she a victim of society's obsession with perfection, or a fearless woman who refused to let anyone dictate how she should look? Her transformation, no matter how controversial, exposes the uncomfortable truth about fame and the human need to be loved and seen. In the end, who decides what's too much? Perhaps the real tragedy isn't her face, but our reaction to it. What do you think defines true beauty?